Alright, I think that's working. Hello, I'm Dalton Blue. I'm an undergraduate of Natural Resource Management here at the University of West Georgia's biology program, and I had the chance of working on this year's Snapshot USA Trail Camera Survey, and the further privilege of being able to make a poster for this year's Snapshot Symposium. For this year's topic, I chose to focus on the region of the urban wildland gradient, an area which has expanded greatly in the past years of urban sprawl here in the U.S. And the species I chose to look at was one I not only have a great degree of favor for, but one whose adaptations have made him somewhat of a benefiter to this expansion of the urban wildland gradient, the American black bear versus Americanus. What we want to look at is in this species who has begun to enter into urban and suburban areas, how are they adapting to humanity? How are they changing their activity patterns on the day-to-day to deal with human factors? And how do these changes differ from those of their wildland counterparts? That's what we decided to base a poster around, and we generally believe that there would be a degree of difference seen. To collect this, we looked at a comparison of capture data from the 2019 and 2020 Snapshot USA camera surveys, the metadata taken from the photos, looked at the data was separated into two sections, urban and wildland, based on the habitat type within the metadata. And we wanted to see how we could graph those separately. And we ended up doing that by breaking it into two main graphing formats, seen here in Figures 1 and Figures 2. This first format was based around taking 4 key dial periods of the day and seeing which dial periods are more favored by bears than others to get an idea of the major population fluxes that are seen between urban and rural habitats. What we ended up finding with it was that urban bears displayed a greater favoring for nocturnal time periods compared to the more crepuscular daylight to afternoon foraging periods of their wildland counterparts. What of note was that in 2020 there was a sudden increase in concentration of bears back into daylight hour periods, implying that there possibly was an effect there from the COVID lockdowns, reversing the process and some bears going back to living during the daylight hours. Our second camera method was based on taking the full 24-hour spectrum for, once again, urban and wildland sites divided by habitat, and just going hour by hour, seeing which hours are most favored by each site's bears. What we ended up finding was pretty concurring with our first data graphing method, in that wildland bears exist out in an area without human factors like cars or traffic. They're going out during the day, the late afternoon, into nighttime, generally peaking at around 10 to 11 p.m. and then swiftly dropping off, which is different from the bears seen in wildland sites who preferred to interact during the hours of after midnight to around 5 a.m. All in all, we found that the difference was pretty substantial. We ran a chi-square test, found data comparing the percentage overall within the dial periods, and the data proved to be within significant margins, implying that factors like cars, dogs, people coming out, these bears are specifically modifying their behaviors on urban sites to adapt to human presence. In a way, it's kind of funny because we are studying their activity patterns, and systemically as a species, urban bears are studying ours. Once again, this is Dalton Blue. I thank you for watching this, and I thank Snapshot USA for the opportunity of allowing me to make a poster this year.